Yes, that is what India is. Let's welcome Mr. Raj Chopra for his stand-up comedy. Mr. Raj Chopra.
Oh, hooray!
Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today? Good? Well, I've already been introduced. My name is Raj. And how good was the magic show today? You know, when I watched the magic show, it reminded me of an incident when I came to Australia. When I was at Melbourne airport, I came there for the first time. So the customs, they were checking my passport. And after a few minutes, the passport was lying there. So I looked at the lady and I said, "Hey, can I get my passport?" So she looked at me and she's like, "What's the magic word?" And I only knew one magic word. So I just went, "Abracadabra, guli guli gul." She looked at me and it actually worked. I got my passport back. It works all the time. I use it. I was just at the stall at the back there. I went to these guys. I said, "Abracadabra," and they gave me a bottle too. So if you want to try it, give it a go to these guys. Well, I am actually from Delhi, city of 30 million people. When I came to Hobart, it actually felt like the city had been raptured. There were like 3 or 4 people walking around on the airport. I could see one lady walking towards with me, and she had a very depressed dog in her hand. She came to me, I was standing there with my luggage, and I took the biscuit out of my pocket, tried to give it to the dog, and she said, hey, don't do that. He's just checking for apple and oranges. And I was thinking, that is so racist. Apple and oranges, just because I'm Indian, you think I'm going to smuggle apple and oranges? Can't I bring some drugs here? And she said, no, that's not the case. Apple and oranges are actually banned in Tasmania. I just felt so bad at that moment for the dog. Imagine how much effort he would have put to get a job as a police dog. And when he went for the training, dogs from Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide and all those places, the training would be, all these dogs would be smelling cocaine, meth, marijuana, and this dog would be smelling apple and oranges. Just because he's from Tasmania. Well, I moved here, so I thought I have to move on, and I came outside and there was an amazing Australian taxi driver standing there. Very friendly, he waved a hand. Don't be surprised, Australians used to drive taxis. Then we all came in. Now it's the delicacy to find an Australian taxi driver. So I sat in the car, we started having a conversation, and he said, "So how long you been visiting here for?" And I said, "Visiting? I'm here permanently. You give us visa one time, I'm not leaving." So he looked at me and said, "Well, let me give you a piece of advice while you are here. I'll tell you, when you're living here, make sure you stay away from a group of people. They're called bogans." And he said, "I'll tell you how to identify them. They speak very loudly, they drink anything with alcohol in it. Most of the parties of them will end up in fighting." I jumped with joy. And I said, "What, Punjabis are here already?" I said, "Don't worry, man, I'm also Punjabi." Well, I started living here and I thought, what do I need to do? I need to find a job. Because I didn't knew they have Centrelink system here. It takes time to learn that. So I started my first job in a call center, which is Australians' worst nightmare, having a Raj in call center in Australia. Imagine how many Rajas are calling them every day. You know what I mean? So I started my first job there, and the part of the job was basically, when we get all the training, there were 10 days of training, and the day comes when I have to go and take the calls. And my team leader will come and sit next to me when I'm taking the calls. So the day came, I'm not going to tell you the name of the company, you just have to imagine, they can sue me. So the day came and she plugged in, she was sitting right next to me, I took the headphone and I went, "Welcome to Sodaphone, this is Raj, how can I help you?" and I heard a man yell at me, and he's like, "Damn! Put me to someone in Australia." Like, sir, actually I'm in Australia. And he said, "Well, there's nothing against you, mate. I went to a petrol station this morning. There was a guy from Pakistan. Then I went to a doctor. There was a guy from Bangladesh. Then I went to Woolworth. There was a Chinese lady. And now I call a call center. I get an Indian. Where are all the Australians gone?" And I hear a sound of... So I look at my team leader. She has tears in her eyes. Don't have sympathy for her. She was laughing. She looked at me and she's like, "This is gold, mate. Keep going." So I went back to the phone and I said, "Sir, how can I help you?" And he said, no, I want to speak to someone in Australia. Where are all the Australians gone?" I said, "Sir, maybe they've all gone to Bali." Well, when I started living here, one of the most shocking incidents that happened to me in the first year, and because Inspector Ian is sitting here today, so I thought I'll, tell you, it was very shocking. I was driving my car and I hear a police siren. I almost shook. I got shivers down my spine. And suddenly, the cop came out and I was sitting in my car shivering. He knocked on the door, on my window. So I put the window down, he looked at me, and this is the most shocking thing I ever heard. And he looked at me and said, "Hey, how's your day going, sir?" I said, "What?" I'm looking, there's no one else in the car. You know why it is shocking, Inspector Ian? I never had a verbal conversation in my country with a cop. It was only with a hand. Well, some of the other stories have happened as well, but I'm going to cut you short today because I know you're all hungry and you all have to eat as well. Don't let them trick you if you can't eat a lot of hot food, because I'll tell you, there will be a lot of hot food outside. You can sit with Lord Mayor Anna Reynolds. She is used to it. I've seen her at a lot of ONAM festivals. And the trick is, you just start eating and after 5 minutes you'll be numb. And then it will work out fine. Just remember, in the morning, don't use the toilet paper, only water. Alright, well, I will leave you over here. Thank you very much.